Aho, brothers of the Axe. Joe here on the bench tonight, and just wanted to do a quick video of tuning up one of these old Spokeshaves. This can, apply, I guess, to really any type of Spokeshave. The shaves that I use in particular are these sort of more old school wood-bodied. I think they call them, what do they call them? Low angle, maybe, Spokeshaves. And really, just this is what I've come across locally and has worked for me. I've never really felt the need to go out and try to find one of the metal-bodied ones. These have worked fine. So these are a little bit more rudimentary than like the Stanley 151s, which is kind of actually a good thing if you're a beginner or just don't want to fuss around with a lot of adjustments. So I'm going to just go over how I sort of tune this thing up in between projects to keep it cutting decently. I'm by no means a master of sharpening or anything like that. So this is more of a rudimentary look at how, kind of, for lack of a better word, I guess a Neanderthal sharpener like me does things. So anyways, these are a lot pretty simple. There's just a blade affixed in this wooden handle, and there's two tangs. So you just want to go get yourself something, not crazy, like a little tack hammer or a little ball peen or something like that, and just easily tap these out. They shouldn't be in there crazy tight. And then just carefully remove this. Remember, after all, there is a blade here. Set your body aside. And you could see it's a single bevel. And this one's definitely getting a little rusted up. It's certainly dull. That's for sure. It was just kind of tearing out on me and not really cutting the greatest. So what I am going to use tonight to sharpen are just some cheap diamond plates from Amazon, I believe. And we've got we've got a 400, a 600, a 1200, and a 1000 grit and a 1200 grit. So obviously, you're going to start on your most coarse grit and work your way up from here. So anyways, just to sort of illustrate, and for a lot of your new sharpeners, this trick works great. So, clearly we want to sharpen the edge. So if you take yourself a Sharpie, this is a really old trick here. Take yourself a Sharpie and just kind of color in the edge. Just like that. So when you go over it with the stone, you'll be able to see kind of where you're taking off and where you're missing. And I am going to start with the 400 grit, and we're going to work our way up. Now, you could chuck this up in a bench vise. You could do it freehand. And I think I'm going to do it freehand here. I usually hold between two fingers the blade, and then sort of in a circular motion, kind of like you're sharpening an axe. You could certainly do a draw stroke if you wanted. And you're just trying to erase that black Sharpie line. That's all you're doing. Trying to keep an angle, consistent angle. For a lot of you, older, more advanced axe guys, this is all going to be rudimentary, and it might be one for you to skip. But this is for the new guys. And you can see here, this blade is quite old, and there's a little bit of a dip here, just from years and years of sharpening. Usually how I will combat that is I have a Spyderco Sharp Maker with the rods, and I'll usually come in here with one of the rods and try to hit the edge in the center here where that concavity is that a flat stone is just not getting. So as we can see here, we've gotten the Sharpie fully removed, and already I can feel a nice burr. What you're looking for is a burr on the other side, and then you would just go on the back, and on the other side just kind of flatten out. And what you're trying to do is sort of just chase that burr back and forth as you move up the grits. Already I can feel this is a world sharper than it was. So I'll just move up to the 600. And I don't know if 400 and 600 is enough of a jump to really make much of a difference. But for the sake of the video, we'll go through the motions here. Yeah, already. This went from very, very dull to... It's probably usable here at even a 600 grit, but I'm going to continue to refine the edge. We're working with 1,000 grit stone now. And you guys probably hear my dog barking in the background, my foolish pup. We have a family of bunnies that live under the shed, and it's kind of a cat and mouse game. Well, it's a dog and bunny game between her and this family of rabbits, and every other week or so she kills one of them, so we've got to clean up a dead rabbit carcass. But she just relentlessly does circles around the shed all night long. As I film this, it's a pretty steady rain out there, and she refuses to go inside. She just continues to chase the bunnies, and I can't let her in the shed because she's an idiot, and she eats screws, she eats hunks of wood, she eats all kinds of stuff. She's a German short-haired pointer, so if anybody has any experience with that breed, they know they're just, you know, they're nutcases. They're absolute nutcases. So she's out there on the hunt. And you can see, you can tell you're doing a good job when you start to get metal filings all over your hands. Yeah, already that's... And we'll finish off with a 1200. And like I said, guys, I'm not a sharpening guru by any means. I'm certainly no authority. This is just how I do things. You know, I've seen a lot of guys do sharpening videos and demonstrate, you know, cutting paper and shaving hair and things like that. And I think that's awesome. I mean, I think it's great. But at the end of the day, you know, if it's sharp enough to be a workable tool for me, that's good enough for me. You know, obviously your mileage may vary. And you could lubricate, you know, your stones. These diamond stones, I'm not exactly sure if you're supposed to or not. I've had pretty decent luck with not lubricating them, or, you know, even just using a little bit of water. It's a little shop hat. I don't have a, you know, my shop isn't plumbed, so I just keep a little Windex bottle filled with water for just general purposes. Little shop hack. But a little lubrication to move the metal filings away never hurt anybody. Flatten that back just a little bit. Yeah, if you're in the market for a decent set of cheap stones, I recommend these Amazon diamond stones. they cut really well, and I mean, I know they're under 20 bucks. They might have been about $12 or $14. They're not the highest quality, but they do the job, certainly. All right. So once you've got it where it needs to be sharpness-wise, just wipe the water off this. And grab a little oil. So when I sharpen my blade, I'll use that also as an opportunity to oil the wood in the handle, and just generally condition it. And you know, I kind of like to remove any excess debris and sort of burnish a little bit with some triple aught or quadruple aught steel wool. Always like to have a piece of steel wool handy. So just go ahead and burnish this down just a little bit. And just the tiniest bit of linseed oil. Gets very dry here in this little area where that comes in contact with the workpiece. So particularly this area here, it's nice to lube up. Get in there in the crevices there where the blade sits. And I'm not sure what you would call this, the throat of the tool, I'm not sure, but nice coat of linseed oil for it. Get your hands nice and stinky for your wife. My wife loves the smell of linseed oil, guys. How about yours? And don't waste any of the precious elixir. And it's coffee o'clock, 9:30. Let's get our caffeine on. Get this oil rubbed in. And I like to throw a coat of my paste waxed on here. Paste waxed. Sorry, coffee hasn't hit yet. Throw a little paste wax on there. Grab ye old disgusting shop towel. Burnish that in just a little bit. You could use your lubricant of choice. I have a couple different ones. The WD was handy, so just throw a little WD-40 on there. Lube that blade up, lube the tangs up nice. Maybe get a little WD-40 in your coffee. Some people like cream and sugar. Some like it black. I like it with WD-40. And you're going to want to make sure your blade is faced the appropriate direction, and usually these will only go in there one way. They won't fully seat. I like to get it hand tight, and then you want to just use your tack hammer again and just light taps. You don't want to really drive this thing home. Super light taps. And that should sit flush. There we go. And I'm gonna... And sometimes you got to reseat it just a little bit. Already it's cutting much better than it was. Adjust the camera angle here. There we go. Now this is a 1200 diamond stone, guys. I didn't strop this. You know, I didn't take it on any super fine ceramics, so you certainly could go more, you know, in tune with your sharpening. You could probably go less. For me, this works. This is a usable tool for me. Yeah, to anybody that doesn't currently have a Spokeshave, it's an awesome tool, guys. I highly recommend grabbing one. I mean, they're just a pleasure to use. So, that's going to be it for me tonight. Just a quick one, guys. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Give me a like, give me a comment, give me a subscribe if you want. Hope everybody's having a good week. And I will catch you on the next one, guys. Have a good night.